WBC Super Featherweight Championship action. Champion Humberto Soto, regarded as the best in the world at this weight, from Mexico against Benoît Gaudet, French-Canadian from Quebec, who's more the fast stylist. But Soto's a big favourite here, Jim.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, Soto spent a lot of his career on the sidelines because he was in a star-studded division and the stars were all boxing.
Oh, look at that! Straight away, big left hand. Gaudet's down, feels the power. He's coming off a spectacular defence as well. Soto last time against Antonio Davis, he blew him away in 4 rounds, floored him 3 times, and is Gaudet's challenge going to be over before it starts here? He's in trouble already, Jim.
Well, he's down. I don't know, in big trouble. His eyes look clear. I don't think it was a bone-shaking punch, but it was certainly a good shot. But when you come in as an underdog, that is the last thing you want to happen to you in the first few seconds of your challenge. This is a massive challenge for him. Real difficult job, and he finds himself on the floor.
Canadian Olympian Gaudet with a 21 record in the pros, but he's never been in with anybody like this before. It's a surprise chance, really, for him to get this opportunity, and he's already seen just how big a task it's going to be.
And he doesn't look quite the mover I expected him to be. Gaudet, I thought he'd have been all over the and slipped them, but doesn't look like what he does is going to be good enough tonight.
Doesn't look quick enough or a good enough mover from what we've seen early on here.
I mean, he looks like a counter-puncher who likes to slip punches but stay in range. But I don't know, against a man of Soto's quality, if he's going to be good enough or quick enough.
Gaudet needs to get through this first round and feel his way back into the fight somehow. Soto with 47 wins, 7 defeats on his record, but 4 of those were in his first 3 years as a pro. Not many in more recent times, and he's got a 62% knockout ratio.
And shattered by the knockdown, but there he's caught in the chin again. Soto looking very cool and very controlled.
Title defense number 2 for Soto, who's quick across the ring as well. He's one of those fighters who may improve again for being champion after having to wait for his chance. Second round. The blue and red trunks of Humberto Soto from Los Mochis, Mexico, where his dad is a local bus driver, and where Soto wants to run a business with buses and taxis, and I think his plan tonight really is taxi for Monsieur Gaudet quite soon. Unless this French-Canadian can box his way back into the argument here somehow.
Well, a couple of nice little moves there from Gaudet. Just made the space, got a couple of punches off, found the escape route. But 12 rounds is a long, long time when you don't carry an awful lot of power. And you're in with a guy of this quality.
Gaudet's won his last 11 contests, but a much more modest level than this. And Soto did box in Britain 10 years ago against Birmingham journeyman David Hines. Don't remember that, frankly.
Soto just has to be careful he doesn't become frustrated. There's good movement in this round from Gaudet. Yep, he's not easy to pin down. So Soto has to get the feet a little bit closer. Yep, very tricky, Gaudet.
Boxer move has to be the strategy for him. Just can't let Soto line him up. And then throw in punches, get away again if he can. Is he clever enough to do that, though? Is he that good? He'll need to be very good, because Soto's seen it all, really, in his pro career.
Yeah, he's only throwing little powder puff punches. Soto's punches carry the authority.
Sometimes it's a bit like trying to keep a jungle cat away from you with a pea shooter.
Yeah, it's not enough to make Soto miss. You have to come back with counters. He's not doing that often enough for my liking, Gaudet.
Cracking left hook and then a right hand from Soto, who's finding his target often enough against an opponent who's supposed to be elusive. Needs to be elusive. Another right hand cracks home. Gaudet taking too many, really, for the plan he had in mind. And I doubt if there's a plan B. There can't be, can there?
No, I think we've pretty much seen what he does in the first couple of rounds. At this level, you really need enough power in your punches to discourage the other guy, and Gaudet doesn't seem to possess that. And this is going to be fought at a pace. If he reaches the halfway stage, which is, well, you wonder, that's another round going against him.
Won the title against Francisco Lorenzo, having been ridiculously disqualified against that opponent in the fight before. Disqualified for a punch, or a supposedly foul punch that didn't even land. Oh well.
I was just about to say, when the knockdown occurred, that he's been on the sidelines a lot of his career, because in a star-studded division, all the stars boxing each other, he wasn't bringing a lot to the table. He was interim champion, he won an eliminator, but still didn't box for the WBC title, so he's had to wait. So a long time coming, and they won't be easily dislodged, that's for sure.
This is a deserving case, Humberto Soto. To Gaudet to come up with some raw sweet science to bemuse and befuddle him possibly. But there hasn't been enough signs of that so far, despite some quite interesting little cameos from Gaudet. He's landed, but he hasn't got any real dig. He even admits that himself. Of his 20 wins, only 7 inside schedule.
Yeah, he's elusive, but unfortunately he's not able to come back with the counters. He's having to be so negative that he's not in a position to counter. He's just got to get himself out of there. So, unless he has something he hasn't shown us yet, then I don't see how he's going to turn the trick tonight.
There's that right hand. He had to reach for it a bit that time, Soto. He just looks bigger as well, doesn't he, than the man in front of him. On the scales, there was only a pound between them in this 9 stone 4 pound division, but he looks more than that in the ring on the night.
And he's a little bit too keen to grab hold up close. He's going to have to be careful. Points are not deducted. Hasn't been warned for it yet. But his natural reaction when he can't escape is to grab hold. See, there we go now. As soon as he's close, he's spoiling his arms, looking round behind. So I don't think it'll be too long before he's having a little lecture about that.
Not having to do anything spectacular, but generally holding centre ring, looking the boss, Soto. Good body shot back from Gaudet there. Another left hand around the temple, just dipped his knees slightly. It's okay though, Gaudet.
Yeah, he's showing a little bit of spirit there, which is nice, Gaudet. And as I say, he still looks confident enough. He doesn't look intimidated at any time. But you wonder what his plans are. I don't imagine he thinks he can do this for 12 rounds and go home with a world title.
Well, the plan had to be to win it on points, to nick the rounds, frustrate Soto, but that hasn't happened for him so far. Soto, by the way, is in his 19th 12-rounder tonight, so well used to the distance. In the blue trunks, the black of Benoît Gaudet, the 29-year-old French-Canadian who's ranked number 23 by the IBO, which is kind of the best guess at independent rankings. He's a Canadian lightweight champion and a NABA super featherweight champion as well. But this is a level or 2, or maybe even 3 up from all of that.
Well, it's always good policy against to shift the opponents to work the body. Obviously, they can't pull the body out of range the way they can the chin. I haven't seen too much of that from Soto.
It was elusive enough there, Gaudet. He made Soto miss. 2 or 3 times in a row.
Yeah, but he has some nice moves, there's no question about that. But those were kind of cupping punches.
He's hurt by one of those. Just was on the run for a moment or two there, but seems to have got it back together again now. Just looked panicked by one of those shots over on those ropes. Soto's looking to cut off the corners, as he must do.
I think Soto has to raise the tempo a little bit, pressurised a little bit more. He's doing a lot of stalking in this round, but not quite pressurising. So maybe a little feints, and that was better. A couple of good shots there. A lot of spirit again from Gaudet in this round.
I mean, he's boxing okay, he's doing his best, but he's finding it hard to bridge the gap between what he's used to fighting and the man in front of him.
Lovely right hand lead, bang on the chin, but no power. Otherwise, that would have given Soto something to think about.
Just needs to win a round, Gaudet.
See, not prepared to do anything up close. I think the referee has been very lenient with him. I mean, he's been holding just about every round. But, a lenient referee.
Inside the last 20 seconds of this round, so far what looks like just a routine defence of the title for Humberto Soto, but is there drama to come, I wonder, in this? It's a good little burst from Gaudet, but he just has absolutely no power at all. Back to the action going on in the ring. Remember, Hatton Pacquiao coming up right after this one. Humberto Soto in the blue trunks, big right hand, and Gaudet was wilting a bit from that one. He's won every round so far, the champion here.
Well, I thought Gaudet did enough just to share the last one because he was very elusive. Soto didn't pin him down, but every time he's caught cleanly, that's the result. Tribute to his fitness again. He recovers from these big punches immediately. That's a sign of real good condition, but question marks over his punch resistance that he's shaken so badly in the first place.
Gaudet's on the front foot for the very first time in the fight here, and Soto quite glad to just take a rest by the look of it over on that far side. Maybe he's just looking to invite Gaudet in to catch him with a counter, just change the battle plan a little bit.
Yeah, well, I felt in the previous round that Soto kind of dropped the pace a little bit and just allowed Gaudet to share the round, so he's come out for this round a little bit more confident, so maybe Soto should be thinking getting back in his place again.
It's almost as if he's trying to set a trap here for Gaudet, saying, I'm sick of chasing you. You ever go out chasing me and see if I might catch you with a counter? Instead, Gaudet lands with a good right hand, but again, no effect. It just bounces off the chin of Soto.
But really, Soto should be tying this fellow down a little bit more than he is.
Gaudet's winning this round so far. Can he keep it up? Because Soto's not doing much. Not yet. That's better with the right hand. But then another right over the top. He's the one with a bit of bite in the punch.
Soto complaining about a low blow there. We don't usually see him complaining. That's a surprise. An intake of breath from Soto there as well.
Is he discomforted by something? Something seems to trouble him in this round. He seemed to want to take a breather. He's finishing it fast because he knows he's in the last few seconds. Finds another right hand there, but it's been a little curious from Soto in this session. Good left hand from Gaudet. Again, no effect. Back to work. in this WBC Super Featherweight Championship fight. 6th round of it. Benoît Gaudet, the challenger in the black trunks, just took a little look away from Soto for some reason then, down at the canvas. His boxing brain will be telling him he's going to have to try to do something different. But what?
Well, he's a little bit more adventurous now. I think maybe he's grown into the occasion, if you like. He's been on the floor, he's been hurt since then, but he's still there. Soto, for me, is the one who wants to improve here.
Landed with a cracking right hand, Gaudet. But again, all it did was sent the sweat spraying from the face of Soto. Nothing more than that, no effect. Can't shake him up, seemingly anyway.
But Soto doesn't want him landing too many of those. They're eye-catching punches. And he is struggling to look good against this shifty character. That's better from Soto. Single punches no good against the elusive types. He should be putting them together.
Soto did lose to Joanne Guzman, and that was proof that he can be outboxed. He also lost to Kevin Kelly a long time ago. Former world featherweight champion who was in that thriller with Nassim Hamid, you might remember, at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and no disgrace to lose to either of those couple of classy guys. But I think he should be making a better job of getting this fellow under control.
It's been a good comeback, really, from Gaudet, who was on the floor in the opening seconds. Indeed, the only defeat in his career was against a Mexican in 48 seconds. Won Henry Arjona, but he avenged that in his next fight, Gaudet, with a points win.
No, Soto has to impose himself a little bit more. I think he's landed the better punches in this round, but he can't pin this fellow down.
Gaudet's growing in confidence in the fight, but he needs to pocket some rounds. He's a long way behind already.
See, it's different altogether when Soto puts the pedal down and forces Gaudet to exchange. No use standing off and trying to box his kind of fight. Has to impose himself. He's done that in little patches in this round.
Still plenty of fire about Gaudet. Some of these punches of Soto's are hurting him. Soto and Gaudet.
You okay? Box.
Box on, says Jay Nady, the experienced referee. We've seen a few big ones in his time here in Vegas. Watch the elbow.
Yeah, I think he was leaning down on Soto's neck after he made a miss with the punch. I think there's a lot of things natural that he's doing it again. These are natural survival tactics you learn without thinking. This is the kind of pressure Soto has to impose and stay with. Has to force this fellow to engage, has to be prepared to take a punch, to land a punch, because his punches are the one with the snap in them.
It's been quite a good effort, this, from Gaudet. He's more and more as it's gone on, he's refused to let Soto dominate every stanza of the action. And he's spat out a bit of defiance in his own way. He just does not have that dynamite in his fist that could change the course of the argument.
And his work was a little bit out of range there too.
Just get the impression Soto's a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, a little bit flat too. That was definitely low.
Low blow,
no
very
question.
low. Sorry, says Gaudet, it was really low. Talk about south of the border. Is that going to be a point deduction for Gaudet?
Well, he has landed low already, but Jane Eddy has not pulled him up about it, so I don't expect he's going to take a point. But he's certainly going to give Soto pretty much as long as he needs to recover from that.
Take a deep breath. He's entitled to 5 minutes here if he wants it. Fighters rarely allow themselves to take that long. And back to work. Gaudet certainly made an impression there, if an illegal one.
Yeah, we'll see if that's annoyed Soto into just a little bit more action, though he's worked pretty good in this round.
Good body shots from the French Canadian, and quite elusive as well, and he's trying to go to a tear-up mode with Soto, who wants to do that as well.
Well, we didn't expect to see this. Just because he's not powerful doesn't mean he's not gritty, but he has been shaken a couple of times already, so that was a little bit reckless, I would say.
Quite a nice boxer, Gaudet, though. It's like the old boxing cliche, he couldn't break an egg. It looks like that anyway.
And Soto can change Gaudet's mind just with one punch. You see, he takes one clean shot and he has to get himself out of there.
Back in the ring, round 8 of this WBC Super Featherweight Championship fight with Humberto Soto in the blue trunks, defending his title for the second time, ahead against smart boxer Benoît Gaudet, who's gone off the floor in the first round and done quite well without ever suggesting he can rip this title away from Soto. What does he do, Jim? What does he do from this point on, Gaudet?
All he can do is what he's been doing, Ian, because that's the style he's mastered in his whole career. A couple of good jabs from Soto. No point trying to stand and trade. I mean, he is gritty, we've seen that. He recovers quickly from punches, so he's in good shape. Now, this is what Soto has to do. Has to keep the punches flowing. At times, he's giving Gaudet too much time to do his own thing. He needs the lower pace to perform well. So Soto has to get on his case and stay there.
Just hasn't managed to really tame the spirit of Gaudet. This is with the right hand as well. Now, one thing for certain, Gaudet, when he goes back home to Quebec, he'll certainly be able to say he gave it everything he knew how, but it doesn't look like he quite knows enough, and that's another left hand cracking home.
Yeah, and he's taking punches better now. Quite often when fighters walk to the task, you've heard the term, he was caught cold. That actually happens. You know, when the adrenaline's flowing, you don't feel the pain so much, and you take shots better, and he's taken a couple of clean shots in this round and taken them without any problem.
Yeah, it looks that way, Jim, you're right. Certainly caught cold right at the start, wasn't he, by that left hand on the floor. Again, a little bit on the low side from Gaudet. Needs to watch it. Next time he will get a point deduction. He's a bit lucky to escape one last time.
Well, trying to come forward, which is a change, but missing badly. Yep, the punches that get through, he's coping with them now much better than he was earlier.
Oh, good right hand there, and he took that well again. Gaudet landed pretty flush. Good shot from Soto, who tries to ram home the advantage, but the bell goes at just the right time for the challenger. And it's the 9th round of this 12-rounder, of course, for the WBC 9 stone 4 title, super featherweight division. Soto's lead would be quite clear, wouldn't it, Jim, at this point?
Yeah, but I have him there 6 points up at the moment. But a couple of the rounds there, Gaudet kept him close. Success, but he's just a little bit negative with it. But here we go again when he's picking those lovely shots. When Soto drops the pressure, then it allows this fella to come onto his own. He likes the pace where he has time to pick the punches, then get himself back out of there. And he's quite cute when he gets the chance to do that.
Soto wants to seem to take little breaks in the fight, doesn't he, here and there? Like now. Standing off, smiles at someone at ringside. Maybe he thinks he's got it all nicely under control, and perhaps he has. Perhaps he's thinking this fellow is quite a smart mover and boxer, but he doesn't have anything to really trouble me.
See, they're not powerful punches, but they're point-scoring punches, and that's what he has to be careful of. And you always have a bigger job when you allow the other guy to grow his confidence.
Soto just can't really nail Gaudet after his very promising start to the fight.
And Gaudet really looking as though he fancies the job much more now than he did at one time. So I wonder, little signs of tiredness.
Oh, big uppercut, right uppercut, cracking shot. And for a moment there, Gaudet's eyes were in orbit. He's mature enough to let the count get to 8 to give himself a full recovery time. It isn't enough. Is it long enough? What a shot.
That's a heavy knockdown. I've commented he's in good shape, he recovers, but that really was a heavy knockdown.
And that might have knocked a lot out of Gaudet. Just at a time when he might have felt he was putting up a decent effort in the fight.
Well, you know, Ian, that's what being a champion is all about, just picking the perfect time. Another great right hand.
It's gone. It'll be stopped. I don't think there's a count. It's over. Humberto Soto retains his title with some power punching in that 9th round to end the argument completely. Blew him away in the end. Too many shots, too heavy. And Soto, a performance that lacked a little drama until that explosive ending.
He just timed the shot perfectly, uppercut, bang on the chin, and that was different from the previous knockdown. The legs collapsed from that, and he actually did well to regain his feet and get back into the fight. Beautiful punch that was.
That was one of the punches of 2009 in any replay at the end of the year from Humberto Soto.
But it was amazing again. I've commented on the fitness of Gaudet before, and he did manage to clear his head a little bit, but you knew the first solid punch that landed after that was going to put him back to where he was there. You can see all over the place, eyes and into orbit. The referee picked the perfect time just to get him out of there. And Soto, with the experience, knew a couple of clean punches away from victory. He just took his time, picked his target. No way Gaudet was going to get himself out of this trouble, just collapsed to the floor.
I think he took the second punch because he'd taken the first one. His reflexes had gone as well. And Humberto Soto, the favourite, is still the king at
From
Super
the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, referee Jay Nady steps in and calls a halt to the contest. The official time, 2 minutes 25 seconds of round number 9. The winner by TKO victory, still WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the crafty little fox, Humberto La Zorrita Soto.